tremendous today, from Lost in Space.
I think it's because of the innocence of the show.
It's the nostalgia part of it.
Mommy and Daddy, who watched it 30 years ago, had children.
The baby boomers today, when they think back 20, 30 years ago, when they were 6, 8 years old, those were good years for them. The home, the family, the mother, the pies, all that kind of stuff, you know, good things happening.
To this day, there are so many fans of that television show. And we actually made a trip to NASA about 5 years ago. And I can't tell you how many people came up and said it was because of Lost in Space that I went into the space program. Yes, we went and we actually watched the launch of which one was it? Discovery.
I created Lost in Space some 20 years ago. I knew we had something good, but the thought that it'd become so popular and continue to play all over the world to this very day is still quite amazing to me.
Irwin Allen was a tornado.
When Irwin walked on the set, you knew, uh-oh, Irwin's here.
That door would open on that set, and you knew it was Irwin. He'd go, shoom! He'd come into that set, and he'd walk in.
What's going on? Why aren't we getting the shot here? You know, what's the problem?
I used to call him the Emperor whenever I had to write him a letter or anything. It was always Dear Emperor.
I remember that this was a most difficult and complex man.
It was like, uh-oh, I better hit my mark. I better know my lines, which I always did anyway. But, I mean, everybody had this air of, like, the boss is here. Let's do this right.
He was a genius.
He wanted excitement, he wanted energy.
I had great regard and respect for the expertise which he showed in the area in which he worked.
Geniuses always have a reputation of being eccentric, and indeed, he was that too.
You did all your own writing?
Oh, yes.
Did you?
Everything that you heard, I either wrote or rewrote.
Yeah?
And I was a very lucky actor because for the only time in my entire career, which is, of course, vast, as we know, I was given carte blanche to do anything I wanted. I could not believe my good luck.
The Dr. Smith character, which so many people remember you for, and as I quoted popular phrases that have become a part of our culture.
Yes.
Initially, the character was very dark and evil. The first several episodes, you were a foreign agent trying to disrupt the project, and then it changed into a very comical and very warm character.
I certainly changed it, didn't I?
Yes, you did, and that all came from you, did it not?
Yes, it did. I found that to play that dreadful man, which they had in mind on the paper, had no longevity, and actors got to work. And I thought that they'd have to kill him off in 5 segments because he was very unpalatable. And so I started to sneak in my little bits, for which I'm justly famous, may I say.
So you
hoping nobody would notice, but Irwin Allen did notice. And he came over one day, and he said, "I know what you're doing." I said, "Oh, and?" He said, "Do more."
A few really nice scenes with Guy in the series. A couple of teary moments together, a couple of father-son moments with a beautiful John Williams theme. You know, da-na-na-na-na. It was really nice. And the Antimatter Man. Just cherish them, and I wish we'd had more.
I was supposed to be a biophysicist in it, so if I had an opportunity to go back and play it again, I would like to have some more experiments going. I had done Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea for Irwin, and on the second day he came down and he said, "Want to do another series?" I said, "Yes, I would like to."
How much time was there between The Sound of Music coming out and you transforming into Miss Penny Robinson?
Not a whole lot of time. I started doing some Lost in Space about a year later. I was 13, and that was on the 20th lot. When Sound of Music ended, I actually stayed on the studio lot and did my